this story became, it sort of took off on me, and it became much more of a mystery and a thriller than anything I've ever written before. And I kind of wanted to find out what was going to happen, and it has this big feeling of a culmination. You know, it starts here, and you can see where it's going early on, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to come just before Christmas. It's going to reveal this to the world, and there are probably like 8 main characters in it, as opposed to, you know, Eddie and the 5 people in heaven, and there were the 4 other people and his wife that he met, and you're done. But none of them are as big as him. It's his story, really. And in For One More Day, there's really Chick and Posey, his mother and son, and everybody else is kind of a secondary character. And even in Tuesdays with Morrie, it's a 2-person story, essentially. But here, this is way more characters than I ever had to deal with, and I found, well, to give them flesh and to bring them 3-dimensionally, I needed more pages, and I needed to keep the story had to be the thing that moved them along. So it wasn't intentional, but it ended up sort of, as you point out, sort of like if I'm brunette and my wife is brunette and we have kids and there's a redhead all of a sudden, you know, it's like, well, it's still your kid, but where'd that come from, you know? And that's kind of, this book is a little like that.
Was that experience for you? Did you not know the ending when you started?
I sort of knew the ending. I'm not one of those writers that lets their characters take them. I have a lot of writer friends, and some of them say, well, I have no idea where it's going. You know, I let my characters tell me, and I go, really? Because, like, if I come downstairs to write and I open the drawer and I say to my characters, so where are we going today? They're just going to go, you're the boss. What are you asking us for? You know, we thought you knew. And so I can't write without a North Star. I have to have something that I'm sailing towards. I don't have to have all the details, but I knew, for example, who the 5th person was in the 5 people you meet in heaven when I started to write. I did not know who the 3rd and 4th people were going to be. That wasn't as important, but I knew where I was sailing to, and I sort of knew, again, without revealing the ending, I sort of knew what was going to happen with Sully at the end, and so I started to sail towards that. But a lot of the stuff that happened in between, I really didn't know until I came upon it.
Yeah. Well, as a reader, I think I had a sense of that North Star too, but only just a sense, and it still came as a surprise, a refreshing surprise. So that worked well from my point of view. So I appreciate that.